Hello! This is exciting, isn't it? My little face down at the bottom of a cheeky PowerPoint. We'll see if this works. This is a new technology for me, probably about 20 years out of date. So we'll see if this is any good. Right, hello! So the point of this little interlude is to show you all the different design options. So obviously, out in the world and on the internet, there are loads and loads and loads of patterns for hexi crochet cardigans. Many are free, some are videos, there's loads of different styles. But each pattern talks you through one design variation, I suppose, one design choice. What I want to do, I'm not satisfied with that, I want you to be able to design any style of cardigan that you want based on this hexi. So this is what we're going through now. So on the coming slides, there's going to be all the different sort of features that you can make design choices of. I've picked some examples, I've just nicked them off the internet. None of these are mine, I don't think so. And I've picked them purposely for the design features that they incorporate. If there is a particular one that you're like, oh my god, love that, then make a note of it, and then we can look at the sort of the features that it incorporates together if you're not entirely certain. So like as we're going through, if you want to make a note of these, you can. When you get your handout, there is a section for you to sort of think about this more carefully and to circle the options, and then that sort of guides you through the different ways that you would make it. So this is just our introductory. Have a look through your options to get your creative juices flowing and get you thinking about, ooh, what's mine going to be like? Right, let's have a see how we make it go to the next slide, shall we? Okay, there. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Right, so the first consideration, I'm going to move over to this side a bit. So, my left's and my right's all the wrong way around. That's confusing. Right. So the first consideration is the length of your cardi. Now, obviously, you could have it cropped, you could have it right up here, you could have a little bolero. You can go for any length that you choose. So I've got a couple of options here for you, just to show you the different styles. So we've got a sort of one that would sit, I'd say, just about level with your waistband, that first one there. So I don't know if you can see my cursor, but I'm moving it around on it. So just sitting about level with your waistband. This next one's just sitting like on or below your bum. And then the long line we've got in the third one here, that would obviously be down way below your bum. So it's important to think like, right, where do I want this cardigan to sit? And when we come to designing it, there's a little measurement that you'll incorporate for that one. All right. So option number 1, length, done. Right, so your next option is sleeves. So if you look in your bottom left corner, you've got the sort of the purpley bluey multi one. So this is a tapered sleeve. So we start off with a nice comfortable width at your armpit, and it will go down, tapering in until it reaches your cuff, and the end of your sleeve will be the same width as your cuff. So this is quite a nice option. It uses the least yarn. It does involve you doing some decreases though. So if you're not particularly great at remembering to do decreases, then don't go with that one. So your black and white one that you've got up at the top, this is what I'm calling the straight sleeve. Now this one, if you zoom in a little bit on the picture, you can see, so this is a straight sleeve with a slight balloon cuff at the bottom. They have put a cuff on just to bring it in, and you can do that either way. So you can have cuffs on there, or you can have cuffless. Follow your heart. So this one it's a slightly narrower sleeve than the full balloon sleeve. So what you do is you choose the width of the sleeve that you want at the top of your arm, and then we create that all the way down in a nice straight design. So this jazzy beautiful one down at the bottom, this is the full balloon sleeves. So with this one, your sleeves will be the same width as the body of the cardigan. So they are big wafty mama jammers. I really love a balloon sleeve. I've got a couple of cardigans that I've made with balloon sleeves on. I do tend to knock things over with them though if I'm not particularly paying attention. And I dip them in, if I'm reaching across something, I like dip it in my tea. So I love them, and they're very, very in at the minute. But they can be a little bit wayward. Also good for shoplifting, because you can just pocket loads of stuff in there. Not lentils or anything like that. peas, ball bearings, big stuff. Right, and then on the right hand side finally we have got what I am calling the wizard sleeve, commonly known as a flared sleeve or a fluted sleeve. So with that one, what we do is we come straight along until you reach the end of your hexi, and then we can start to increase it at whatever rate you fancy it. You could go full on like Gandalf sleeves if you want, get your Dumbledore on and make yourself into a proper wafty wizard. Right, so you can also do short sleeves. You could do whatever you want, really. You could do whatever, follow your heart. Right, so let's move on to the next slide. Right, so once you've considered your sleeves, you also need to consider your cuffs. They're a bit less of a sort of massive design feature, but they can have a really different effect on your cardy. So left hand side, sorry, I just need to pop my ears. Oh, that was a hit. Left hand side in the blues and the greens, I love this one. This is a double folded cuff. So it does require a bit more work because you've got to make it twice as long as the others, but it can give you a really nice, like cosy, kind of homely, snuggly look. In the middle, we've got this one that was worn by Lucy Richardson on Taskmaster, if you look back through the series. This has got just sort of the standard ribbed cuff. You can match the rib that you use this cuff in to like your edging and your bottom border as well if you fancy. And there's various ways to do your ribbed cuff, which we'll have a look at in a moment. And then on the far right, you've got just a plain, so we just stop and do a round of double crochet just to neaten it off and cinch it in a bit. So they are your cuff choices. Next, the back extension rows. Right, so where a lot of people come a cropper with some of the free hexi patterns is that they don't have these back extension rows in, so there's not actually a space for your head to come through. Well, I mean, you can get it through obviously because it's an opening, it's a cardigan, but there's not actually like a space for your head to sit in that hole. So we want to create a space so that your shoulder seams are on your actual shoulders, as opposed to being right back here, level with the back of your neck, because then it all looks sort of pulled back a little bit. So we just put a couple of extension rows in the back. So the standard, easiest way to do it is the one that's up near the top. We just do a couple of extension rows following on in the granny pattern and join as you go down the middle. And we just do, it's about 10 centimetres the extension that we want to put in. And then jobs are good and your head can fit in there beautifully. The triangle one, this is a bit of a left field curveball design feature that people are starting to add in. This makes your top though, this will make it much more of a V-neck at the front. You can't have that at the back without quite a deep V at the front, because if you think it's going to mirror it. But it does look really nice if you can then come up with a design that you like for your triangle, I suppose. And the other two, we've got, I'm calling these feature rows. So the one with the mushrooms in, they've done these big mushy rooms in the squares in the complementary colours to the side bits, and they've used those as a stripe down the middle to get your extension rows. And then the bottom one, they've done a row of grannies down the middle, and then they've matched that to a row of grannies going along the bottom, which again you can do easy peasy. We'll be using the join as you go method or some other method to join it together, so it's just a bit less sort of done and dusted when you finish it, because you've got a bit more joining together to do. All right, so that's your back extension rows. Most of the ones that people have made thus far with us, we've just gone for the straight back extension rows, because it's, by the time you get to that stage, you're pretty excited, because when you put them two pieces together, it's a cardy. And then you've got your sleeves and your bottom bit to do. So the thought of then going like, I've got to make 15 granny squares before I can join them, can be a little bit demotivating. Right. Next. Okay, so the next thing to think about is your neckline. Now this is where, again, a lot of sort of crocheted cardigans that are the super easy methods, or like top down or in one piece, the neckline can be a little bit weird looking if you don't think it through. So on the far left we've got a hood. So this neckline would come straight up, and then you've got a space for your hood and up and down there, right? So you can't really have any different neckline on a hood, because there'd be nothing for your hood to attach to. The next one along at the top, in the sort of the browns and the blues. This is, what did I call this? A folded collar. I think I called it, I don't know. So this is where we come up, we have like, it's like, you know, those jumpers that they sell in Marks and Spencer's for men at Christmas, where they've got a folded back neckline, and you can get a nice chunky collar, and you can expand that as big or as wide or as narrow as you fancy. It just gives it a little bit more definition around your neck. Looks quite sort of like cosy and a bit nice and wintry. Down below it, the pink one, you've got the grandad style collar. So this is just quite a simple crew neck neckline on there with straight fronts coming down, which you could add buttons on, or you don't have to. You can do what you want. In the top right, you've got the V-neck, which is, it's not actually technically a V-neck, it's just we just come straight down, and then when you put the buttons on or whatever fasteners you've got in the middle, because of the shapes and the holes in the granny hexi, it sort of just pulls the cardigan into shape, so there's not additional shaping to do to get the V-neck, don't worry. And then down at the bottom, you've got, if you just fancy a little grandad collar, I don't know if you can see that behind me, but I don't know how to move where my little head appears, so stuff. So this is just like just a folded collar, like sort of a shirt collar. All right. Next, then, did you hear my belly then? Like, wow, wow, wow. Right, so edging. So the edging comes basically from your bottom, from the bottom front, all around your neckline and back down. It'll go around your hood if there is a hood there, and if you want to, you can match it to your cuffs. So over on the far left, we have got this one nicked from Etsy, which is done in a chunky, and this has got what I'm calling a chunky rib. So this is a front and back post alternation. It's nice and easy. It works up pretty quick. And it does look, if you're doing something in the chunky, it can look really, really nice and chunky. And it does look really nice as a cuff as well. So you can have it matching on your bottom border, your edging and your cuff. Our older friend up at the top, the purple one with the tapered sleeves, this has got what I'm calling a short row rib. So instead of working around the edges and backwards and forwards, you work in short rows of either double crochets or slip stitches, and you work your rib horizontally to the work, perpendicular to the edge of the work, and you go up and down and up and down and up and down. That, I will warn you, I have done that on a couple of my cardies, and you feel like you kind of finish by the time you get to your edging, and then you start the edging and it takes you 17 years. So just, think about it. You don't have to, you can change your mind halfway through. The pinky blue and yellow and green one down at the bottom, this is just, they've gone for just a simple double crochet all around the edge, just to sort of neaten off the raw edges and give it a little bit of structure. So if you just want something nice and plain and straightforward, you've got that. And then the next one along, this big long one, this beauty, it's like a dressing gown, doesn't it, that? That one is using double crochets. Okay, so we would go, so you can do double crochets or slip stitches all the way around in long rows as opposed to in the short rows. And with that, you can get that sort of knit look rib that you get on a lot of commercial cardigans when they've been knitted that way and then like sewn on afterwards. Technical terms, knitting, I don't know. Right, and finally we have got the pockets. So, pockets are completely optional. If you do want pockets, though, there are many, many design features you can go for. So if you look at, starting on the right this time, we've got like the rusty tealy one. So this is just a standard granny square, patch pocket, sewn on, job done. It will match the pattern of your fabric, of your hexes that you've made, because it's still in the same stitch. And, fairly easy, straightforward, done and dusted. On the other side, so in the ready sort of hooded one, the pink one, and then the two up at the top, these are what I'm calling feature pockets. So this is where we're going to do a different stitch to the rest of the body, but you've got some sort of element, of design element that you want to put in there. So the bottom left one, they've done corner to corner to sort of keep the striped variation. So just you can standard corner to corner square, and then they've patch pocketed them on with a border in the same colour as their edging. Then up at the top, we've got this little one, so it's just a granny square with a couple of applique toadstools sewn on there. And then we've got the star one. I believe this is a Mario on the thing that I've nicked it off. I think they were making a Mario-inspired cardi. So they've gone for one of the big stars as their pocket. But again, just crocheted and then patched on. Down at the bottom, I do quite like these sort of angled corner pockets, but and I intended to put them on mine, but I've just never got around to it, and I just started wearing it. So I do like these. They are deep. They would use a fairly considerable amount of yarn though. So if you're doing that and you want to still get it at your 10 balls, you might need to just think about bringing your height in and doing a slightly your length in and doing a slightly skinnier sleeve option and possibly skipping the hood. Or you could just get more wool. I'm a terrible saleswoman, aren't I? Don't buy any more. So those are all of your design options. If you've had a little think about some of these, have a look around as well. There is a Facebook group called Crochet Hexigan Cardigans, I think, where there's quite a lot of inspiration on there. There's quite a lot of weird ones as well. So there's some inspiration on there. So we need to be thinking about your fit, your length, your sleeves, your cuffs, your neckline, your edging, your pockets. Just sort of be having a little think through of all your different options. And then what we'll do is next week, when everybody should be starting to get the yarn and the patterns through, we can then work through the sheet and I'll revisit this, and then you can get all your design set out and then we can get going. Exciting. Right, that's it for now. Give us a shout if you've got any questions. If not, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.